All right. So what got you interested in coaching?
Um, I think it was like right before Overwatch 2 came out. I had like seen your channel. Like I
Yep.
started I think it was through Kjor,
Yep.
uh through
Yep.
his videos. Yeah, yeah. And then
Mm-hmm.
I like started watching your content, like watched like everything. And then yeah, eventually at one point I was like, I'm just gonna just go ahead and get coaching. Maybe I because I don't know what I'm doing in Overwatch
Yeah.
right now. So
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. I'm looking at your form here. Obviously, it might be a little bit outdated here, but
yeah.
it looks like there's some struggles with rank recently.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Was this season 9?
Yeah, yeah. Big season
Yeah,
9
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The rank reset thing where and what ended up happening is I think a lot of people we pulled it closer to the middle in terms of the rank
hmm
distribution, right? There's fewer low ranks and there's fewer high ranks, but they might have turned it up a little bit too much. But then the big thing as well is like the psychological impact of that as well,
Of
where
course.
most people I've worked with legitimately look like they're playing worse since season 9 because I feel like their confidence just like took a giant kick in the butt cheeks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
so that's something to be aware of. Okay, how long you been playing Overwatch overall?
I think September 2016. I think that's when I first played it. So I've been playing a long time, but I never really like cared about ranked until like Overwatch 2,
Okay,
really.
okay. Why
Yeah.
why the pivot? Did it just happen to coincide with your interest in the game, or did something about it motivate you, or what?
I feel like I've had more free time. This was the big thing. Like I just didn't have
Right,
time to play the game consistently, and I would take breaks for
right,
a long
right.
time. And then
Okay,
yeah, I've enjoyed Overwatch 2. This is a hot take, but I've enjoyed Overwatch 2 more than I ever did Overwatch 1. I don't know why. Something about the format I enjoy it better.
right, right. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. And then I'm seeing here that you're playing DPS. Has that always
Yeah.
been like your main? If so, why?
No, I played a lot of tank in Overwatch 2. That's mostly what I played was Diva, Sigma, Reinhardt in
Okay.
Overwatch 2. But yeah, DPS has more been the sorry, Overwatch 1 was tank. Yeah, Overwatch 2 is more DPS
Okay.
kind
Why
of
that pivot for you?
Um, I think it's partially I don't enjoy tank as much in this format, but I enjoy DPS a lot more than I
Right.
did tank in Overwatch 1, but yeah.
Okay. Okay. Seems
And
good.
then
Seems good.
just trying to learn more of the game, honestly. I enjoy learning the game. Yeah.
Okay. Mostly Tracer I'm seeing flexing onto hit scan and so on when
Yeah.
necessary. Why those characters?
Um, I think the Tracer thing is like I've never played Tracer, like really in general in the 8 years. I always disliked it. I thought it was too hard. I thought it was like, the learning curve was like ridiculous. So I never played Tracer, and season 9 came around. Tracer was really good. I was like, okay, might as
Right.
well learn character I've never really played before.
Okay. And how's that process gone?
Hard.
Okay.
It's really
Okay.
hard. Yeah,
Okay.
it's fun. It's really fun, but
Okay, so it's really fun. So you're not second
yeah.
guessing yourself.
Oh no, no, no. I like it. It's fun.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. And then when do you play non-tracer? When do you swap?
Um, kind of. I try to always swap, but sometimes like if the map is bad and I'm getting countered, I can't really do anything. I'm like, okay, I gotta switch. Like I'm just
Okay. 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 Makes sense. Makes sense. And then it just
yeah,
depends on what you're playing into or what map you're playing to what you swap to.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. Let's see here. I am a senior in high school, swims competitively because of balancing school, swim, in the gym. The amount of time varies a lot. Go from 5 hours a week at
Yeah.
the low end to 20 hours a week on the very, very high end. Okay. Okay. Sounds good. The big thing is whenever you have schedule constraints,
hmm
especially healthy ones, like you've described there, where it sounds like you got a lot of good things going on.
Yeah, yeah.
Just aim for consistency and not in terms of hours because you've already described that's pretty much inconsistent and that's just how it is. But I would aim for consistency in terms of days that you're playing, if possible.
Okay.
So like if you
You
got
mean
to,
like
yeah, go ahead.
do you mean like certain number of days per week, or like try and
Yes.
play just a little bit every day? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's just playing a little bit every day, even if it's just like a single game or two games or whatever, is going to be your best
Mhm.
approach when you're feeling like really strapped for time. Or even just going, okay, I literally can't play every single day, but I'm gonna like try and play 2 or 3 days this week instead of just like having like one binge session. Like that's gonna be a
Yeah.
much
Yeah,
better
yeah.
of like that's gonna be a better coast if that makes sense.
Hmm.
So that to me is like they're going to be your biggest kind of like boon in that situation. And really that should also apply to like when you have more time to play as well. Is because otherwise like you're just going to have a really hard time, because the more days that you don't play, the rustier you get. But it
Right.
really doesn't take much volume to keep yourself fresh. It might just take a game or two, right? So make sure
Hmm.
that you're getting like checking that box at least, and then you're probably good to go, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah, I've especially this last month, I've been really like not a lot of time because I just graduated, so
Yep.
I've had finals and all that stuff. But
Okay.
yeah, it's summer. We got summer now, and I've plenty of time. So
Okay. Sounds
yeah.
good. Sounds good. All right. Good lessons for even when you don't, or you do have a lot of time though. It's like that consistency, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Like to climb back to diamond. Ultimate long-term goal is GM. I would say for GM, I would say the average play time would be somewhere in the 20-hour mark. Would be a good
Hmm.
goal a week. So we'll see. But obviously that has to be kind of
Yeah,
maintained over a period of at least several months. And it depends
yeah.
on how
That would
much you
take.
actually enjoy that process too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, it's just the goal. I like to have goals that are scary, or I don't think I can do.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, I think I have a great mentality when it comes to losing and winning matches. I basically don't care. It's really just, okay, whatever, we go next. Though when I feel like I've had a really bad game, I do get very frustrated with myself because a lot of time I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Okay, that's very reasonable. I think one of the things is like getting frustrated at yourself is distracting you from what you need to be focusing on, right? And that's
Mm.
why that's so toxic, is because you need to instead be putting your emphasis on, okay, this is what I need to be doing better. But if you're getting frustrated because you have no idea what you're doing wrong, then that's understandable. That's understandable. And
Mhm.
that's why we're here. Now, the bad news is that you're going to have to be smarter yourself without my help.
Mhm.
And
Right.
you're going to have to improve your ability to look at the situations and decide, what do I need to be doing differently? What do I need to be doing better? Because if you can't answer that question, then you're going to struggle, because I'm not going to be sitting on your shoulder all the time.
Of course. Yeah.
The other thing is that even if I was sitting on your shoulder all the time, I can't make those decisions for you quickly enough. You have to be the one that's recognizing those things. Like Overwatch coaching is 50% teaching you a general basic structure of how you can look at the game, and then you figuring out all the details on yourself. And 50% giving you good advice on good habits that you can apply on your own. But that's it.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm,
That
I'm,
makes sense.
I'm not going to sit here and give you a car Q tip on how to win every Cassidy 1v1. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
you're going
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
have to figure that out yourself, frankly. So
Yeah.
that's going to be the big thing there. So, like, I will be able to help at least open the door. Maybe the door is like barred shut. I'll knock it down for you when it comes to not knowing what you're doing wrong. But you're going to have to keep that door open. Like, you're going to have to put in effort and continually like evaluating, learning, thinking, growing, applying your own ideas, because otherwise, you know, otherwise you're going to get stuck. Right? I've
Right.
not met a
Yeah.
single player in higher rank that has relied solely on a coach to rank up. That's not how it works.
Of
Okay.
course. Yeah.
Sleep is on the lower end for somebody your age as well. 7 hours. Is that consistently 7 hours? Is that more of a swim compression kind of stuff?
It's kind of a school swim compression. Yeah. Sometimes I have practice at like 5:30 in the morning, and then sometimes I have to stay up like with homework. Average is like 7.
Okay.
Some nights it's more, some nights less.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think everybody has different demands for sleep, but I would recommend somebody your age in general is going to benefit for something closer to 8 hours.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
able to give yourself that availability and that ends up working out well for you, that would be awesome. I don't know if that works for you, but I would give it a shot. It's going to help your emotional
Yeah.
regulation. It's going to help your reaction speed, your mechanics, your ability to focus, and it's also going to help your ability to learn new concepts as well. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I am a console player, but we'll be getting a laptop that will be more than capable of gaming. Okay, perfect. Okay, I don't really have any other questions from your forum. Do you have any other questions for me?
I don't think so. No, not at the
Okay.
moment.
Do you have a replay code for me?
Yes. Hold on. Do you want me to
Okay.
just send it in
Yeah,
chat?
that would be great if that's easy for you.
Okay.
Got it? Now, why did you
Yeah.
choose this replay code?
This is I mean, this was like 30 minutes ago or 40 minutes
Perfect.
ago. and it's something I really struggle with, which is playing on Eichenwalde and into like Genji. I hate playing into Genji.
Okay, so talk to me why you struggle on this map first.
I don't know. I especially attacking and defending. I don't really know. Like first point, especially. I don't have a lot of places to go. Is what it feels like.
Okay.
Like specifically, there was a Junkrat, and that really made me scared to go like far right on first point. And I was like, okay, where am I supposed to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like I don't have a lot of flank routes. Second point's
Great
fine.
answer. Okay. What about the Genji?
Genji, I don't know, just deflect, and he's jumping everywhere, and I gotta look up, look down,
Okay.
and then he can just like right or whatever the right click into dash, and I'm like about to die.
Right, right. I get you. I get you. Do you train your mechanics on Tracer much?
No, I don't. I mean, not really, to be honest. I don't know. Is like the what's his name? Oh, just a coach. He made like a
Iostux.
training range. Iostux. Yeah,
Iostux.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I've used that one, but I didn't know if that was great for Tracer. I used it for hit scan a lot.
Okay. Why did you feel like it was not great for Tracer?
I honestly have no idea.
Okay. What is your priority with mechanics with Tracer? What makes her unique compared to a lot of the other aiming characters?
There's a lot of 180s, 90-degree turns, lots of, and then you're getting like a lot of times you're getting right up in someone's face.
Right.
So
Right. 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 So you kind of see what I'm saying. Okay. You're right. It isn't great for Tracer. So then how do you improve your mechanics as Tracer?
I don't know.
Competitive.
Practice it in game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, competitive. And then I would also recommend deathmatch if you haven't already done
Okay,
it.
deathmatch. Oh
Deathmatch,
yeah.
unranked deathmatch is great if you can do it. I don't know how popular how long those queues will be, but what rank are you right now?
I'm still gold
Okay,
on
so
DPS.
so that those queues should be relatively quick. Should be relatively quick.
Yeah. Okay.
So get into unranked deathmatch and start winning. And the reason why you bring up Genji is like, oh, well, guess what? You're gonna get a lot of practice versus Genji.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of Genjis
and Roadhog, right, and Moira, and
Ugh.
it's gonna be good, but it's gonna be good though. You're gonna get really, 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 really good. And what makes deathmatch so good is just because the queue times are about the same as competitive, but you die back in, die back in, die back in, die back in, over and over and over and over again. And all you're worrying
A lot of
about,
reps.
right? You're getting the reps in. You just worry about your blink movement and all that kind of stuff. And I think the key thing for you is you're like, well, I'm gonna be moving to mouse and keyboard at some point, maybe this summer, right?
Yeah, very soon.
Mechanics still carries over. I know people are going to be like, wait, oh, it's a totally, no, because what you're really training when you're training mechanics is you're not just training your arms and your fingers and whatever. You're actually training your eyes and your brain. What you're doing is you're saying that like, when I see this is my natural response. Now, when you move to mouse and keyboard, you're going to have to remap what that response is, but there will be the same response. Like if I'm staring here and I turn this corner here, and there's a Genji right here. Whether I'm on console or PC, there needs to be a response, right? Mechanically. For console, what is your blink bound to?
It's left trigger.
Left trigger. Okay, so what would you do here? Left trigger? Forward trigger? Like, what would you directionally use your trigger, and what direction with your blink?
I'm going, I guess, back. I don't know.
Yeah, right? So there has to be a response, right? And this is the same thing in PC. What you want to do is you want to train that there is a response. And then when you go to PC, you will have a much easier time translating that response into a physical action that's different from console, but it's still a physical reaction. Without exception, every console player that I've ever coached that has transitioned to PC, and I've coached a lot of them, maybe 100 plus, have transitioned very well and quickly and not struggled as much mechanically after the first couple of months as you would think.
Okay, yeah.
It carries
The biggest thing for me is like like using a keyboard like for movement. I've tried it before, and I've just like, I don't know. It's
You'll
hard.
get used to it. You'll get used to it quickly.
Yeah.
Yep.
the point,
Definitely get in the deathmatch there even more so when you make that transition over, and you'll be cooking. But yeah, in the meantime, don't feel like, oh, any aim training I'm doing on console is a waste of time. It's not.
Okay. Yeah.
What does Tracer do? What are Tracer's priorities? What makes you unique? You talked about it a little bit why you don't like this map, I think.
Yeah, I feel like I can't flank as well.
Right, and that's it. So flank, okay?
There's not a lot of off angles you can
Right?
take.
So where do you see, or what do you see here? Not a lot of options, right?
Yeah.
What if you blinked once, twice, 3 times? Or you
Okay.
here. You got me?
I see. Yeah.
Okay. Let me give you another option. And maybe even a better option. You see it?
Yeah, yeah, to cross the bridge.
1, 2. Blink around.
And then I'm in there. Okay. Yeah,
So
yeah.
this is the bad news for you. It's a skill issue. All right? It's a
Okay.
recognition issue. There's
Yeah.
almost always, with very few exceptions, like Circuit Royale, right, is a good one. That's tough, first point especially. There is almost always a solution. You just have to be smart enough to see it.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
If they're stacked here, this blink through nonsense isn't going to work. But if they're stacked there, what lane is now open? Do you see it? Same
I can
window,
go,
right?
yeah, up top.
But
Yeah.
honestly, even main, like blink through here, right? That angle is free. You see that?
Okay. Yes, for sure.
They
Yeah.
they can't stop every flank. And like let's say they have a person here and 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 they have a person. Well, then maybe you have to blink through one person, but then there's not enough people to actually pursue you or chase you, right? If it's just one person, you can get around them. Yeah, so your problem
okay.
here is that you haven't staged. You haven't taken an angle. You're kind of stuck sitting here feeling choked out because of the Junkrat, because of the Genji, because of the Junker Queen. But it's essentially a person looking at a math problem that's like 6 times 7 in like 5th grade and saying this is impossible. It's not impossible. It's not impossible. You're just not smart enough to get it yet, right? You're just not smart enough to get it. You just need to practice more. So you're looking at the situation, you're like, oh, it's impossible. It's not. It's not. Practice figuring it out. And the reason why this is so important is because that's a priority for your tracer positioning. And if you have a map where you are really lost and confused at how to approach it, play the game, try to figure it out. Real-time problem solving. You got me?
Yes. Yeah.
Then do what we're doing right now. I don't know how easy replay viewing is on console, but you're going to get good at it, figure it out. Pull up the replay and sit here. Look at the situation. Turn on the overlay like I have over here. I'll send you a video. Remind me at the end there on replay viewer settings. Long story short, and think, what should I have done? Like right now, what should you do?
I mean, I can. Yeah, I guess I can go forward. I mean,
Right.
I don't know.
Right. But even here, why not take the deeper angle here? Why
Yeah,
not
I mean,
go
I totally could.
right, deeper around? This is good. Sure. See, the problem with this angle is it's like when as soon as a Junkrat looks at you, you just kind of shove yourself back into the locker again, right?
Yeah.
Like
I
maintain
kinda
the pressure
can't.
here. Keep staying around the enemy team. Be that nuisance. Be that fly, constantly harassing them from the outside. That being said, this is all right. It feels like we actually got a little bit of space here, so we're cooking. One of the rules with Genji 1v1s, and this is something that you'll learn in Deathmatch, is that you really, really can't stand still. You just can't. Like if you're here...
Sorry, you cut out for a second.
No, it's
My
okay. You
internet's
really, really
moving.
can't stand still.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it doesn't mean you need to be like blinking for no reason, but if he's looking directly at your head, all it really takes is almost one right click or alternate fire, and you're dead. So I kind of know what you're attempting to do here. You were, I think, probably blinking up here, right?
Yeah.
You just were too slow. And so if you look at it from his perspective, look at how easy it is to aim. Watch this.
Yeah. I'm just kind of.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like you're moving in slow motion. And that just comes with time. Now, what you could do to practice that is go into a death match. I'll do it in Vaxa just so we don't have to sit here and wait for a queue. But I'll show you what you need to be practicing in here. Vaxa is like a code like IOSTX's code. Similar.
Yeah. Yeah. I know Vaxa. Yeah.
Vax is also pretty crappy for Tracer, I'm not going to lie. So yeah, long story short, the way that you practice this is you go into deathmatch, and you're not even worrying on your tracking. You're worrying about doing this. Okay, he's looking at me. Blink. Okay, he's looking at me. Blink.
Okay. Okay.
And you just practice blinking side, reacquire, blink through, blink back. See, I did a double blink there. Blink through and back,
Yep.
right? And you just practice this, and you lose the game horrendously because you're aiming like terrible. The greatest of all time. You're aiming terribly, but you're really focusing on like managing those blinks. They give you attention, you blink. They give you attention, you blink. They give you attention, you blink. And you really work on your ability to recognize and see that action. Like if I see Genji looking at me there, your response to blink through him needed to be way, way faster and way more fluid. And that's why you lost a 1v1. So when you say, oh, my movement or my mechanics is bad, don't say that. Don't say that. It's accurate, but it provides you with no action. Like, what do you do with that information? Right? Well, it's not that your movement or aim is bad or your mechanics are bad. It's you are not comfortable blinking through people. That's the problem.
Okay.
So you need to go drill that specific mechanic. Whenever you could give yourself a specific answer, that makes practice so much easier. It's the same kind of thing as why we don't say your positioning is bad. What do we say? Your angles are bad, or you don't go deep enough, or your coverage. Like, we want to give you a specific thing that you can practice, right? And so I'm not going to say your mechanics are bad. I'm going to say, like this angle, by the way, is really good. I'm going to say that you don't blink around people as much. Oh, and this kind of stuff, don't do this. What's the problem here?
I think I'm just like in the middle of nowhere. I don't know.
Who should you be shooting right now?
The Kiriko, or I think.
Why? Yeah, Kiriko or Genji. Yeah, why? Why?
She just used Suzu. She just used TP.
Yes. There's an even more important reason. This is very important. You ready for this one? She's there.
Yeah.
She's right there.
Okay. Yeah.
Why would you? It's just like taking a plane to go to Chick-fil-A in Florida when there's one right down the street. Okay. Why?
Okay.
She's right there. You just had to use one blink and put yourself in you're gonna have to use another blink just to get a kill when she was right there. Shoot what's convenient. So remember, your first priority is not target priority. It's positioning priority. Then you shoot what's convenient for you, even if it's a tank.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Take a short angle, shoot what's there. That's all. Because this entire fight here now feels awkward because you're not really behind the enemy team. Don't really have an angle. Good try with the pulse bomb. You almost got him. But again, movement, right? Again, movement.
Yep.
Okay.
So one thing I do in 1v1s, like especially with Genji, is I just like I almost freeze up. Like I'm like, I panic just a little bit. I'm like, yeah.
So here's how you
and
do it.
I think that's just more practice.
More practice, but you could do even better than that. Let me give you a good example. Let's say that you were playing for the championship and you had to make a couple of free throws in this basketball game to win the game. And you've been working with your coach on, I don't know, what's good basketball shooting technique. I don't know, hip motion, driving through the hips, breathe hips. Like, let's say something like that. And that was kind of the cue that you were using in practice to help you to improve your free throw form. So you go up in the big stage, everyone's looking at you. There's not going to be any way you can practice a situation like this. And so what should you be thinking when you shoot those free throws? Breathe hips, right?
Your cue words,
You give yourself that cue. And so what I would do here is if you're nervous 1v1ing a Genji, don't worry about winning the 1v1. Don't even think about winning the 1v1. All I want you to do is break his legs with blinks. Think instead, 180 blink. React, 180 blink, 180 blink. You got me? 180 blink,
yep.
180 blink, 180 blink, 180 blink, 180 blink. Get ready to blink again, 180 blink, 180 blink, 180 blink, 180 blink. Right? And what you do is you focus on a very important aspect of building the Genji 1v1, which takes your mind off of, this is a Genji 1v1, freak out, right? No, just blink. That's it. That's all you need. If you blink, that's all you need to worry about. And the result will take care of itself.
Okay.
And that applies to any map you don't like, any matchup you don't like, any situation. I hate this map. No. Take what flank? That's all you have to ask yourself. What flank? That's it. If you lose the 1v1, sorry. You were practicing. That's all right. That's why we're here. Like the angle here. It's really good. Pulls the attention. Kiriko can't possibly Suzu if she's not even looking at the Reinhardt. So she's dead. I like the angle here. And you kind of see what I'm saying? You take an angle and you just shoot what's convenient. That's kind of what you're doing right now. Right?
Okay.
You've done a lot of good damage here. You followed up on 2 kills. You almost stopped the Mercy res despite the fact that she was in Valkyrie. I mean, that was pretty impressive, right? And then now the fight's starting, and guess what? You have 3 blinks, full HP, recall, and are still on a good angle. You use your blinks to duel. Or to chase kills that you need to.
Did something kind of bad here. I just didn't.
I mean, like let's be okay. So where's the angle for you right now? Where do you go? It's awkward, right? It's awkward.
Yeah.
So you could sit here and shoot queen, or you could take the payload and try to make the. I would think it's a double blink here. I believe.
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah. But to be honest, that's fine. You know, I think you played well this fight.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Is that Overwatch 6 again?
Yeah.
I see. Were you a fan of any of the teams? Or any of the players?
Sorry, what'd you say?
No, it's okay. It's okay.
My internet cut out again.
No, you're all right. Were you a fan of any of the players or any of the teams?
I think from watching you, just I did like Spitfire. That was I thought they were fun. I like the Sim Bastion was so funny.
Yeah, they were fun.
On circuit, that was fun.
You gonna be watching OWCS this weekend? Or next weekend?
Yeah, I should, yeah.
Nice.
I think it'd be fun.
I might be there, we'll have to see. You were saying something else? Is there another team or player?
Oh, no. I was just watching this clip.
It's a good angle, right? It's a good angle. Now, the funny thing here is you were griping about Genji, but you make the same mistake with
Junkrat.
Right? You got to blink this.
He's just looking at me, yeah.
Blink through. You know, it's kind of funny. It's a rule in, it's an Elden Ring? Maybe it's like all the Dark Souls games. They always talk about, like, people always have the tendency to roll away from danger, right? Like, you can even see it here where you kind of tend to, you're backing up just a little bit. Even with your blinks, right? A lot of people will blink backwards, right? Don't blink through, because it makes them rotate and turn their head. Blink through while still keeping you in your effective range, right? So, but yeah,
my instinct in this moment was to recall, and then I didn't recall. But yeah, I think blinking to right or behind, through him, definitely would have.
Yep, 100%. By the way, good angle, good shots in the Kiriko though. Nice stuff. Now, where do you go? You got options here, right? I see at least 2, maybe 3. Where would you go?
I really like going left.
To be specific, because I see 2 angles from left. What do you see right now?
Around that wall. I think.
This is great.
Yeah.
Where else could you go from left? Give me another option.
I guess I could go up top or.
Could go up top and then do exactly what you're doing, but from a high ground here, and that allows you to wrap around here, right? That's an option too. Okay, give me a third option on the right side.
I could go through the little castle thing, go up the stairs.
Yep. And then you could either go high ground, or you could shoot here, or you could shoot ball as well. You got options here. I think left side is a more immediate value, just because you don't have time to set up.
Yeah.
But this is a perfect example of shoot what's available, because right now, what's the most available target on your screen?
Ball.
Shoot the ball.
My left.
Shoot the ball. Shoot him. Because you're thinking, oh, it's a no. Yeah, but if he's shooting you and you're shooting him, not only is a tank generally a slightly more valuable resource than a support or a DPS in terms of just raw HP, right? So just take the duel. But also it's ball. You're not too scared of him. Like, he's not going to murder you immediately. Just shoot him. Shoot him. Use your blinks, use your recall, whatever you need to do. Heck, if he's low enough, use your pulse bomb. But you're too, like, I want to go in. But the problem is because they're too far away, right? It's a big no-no with Tracer. Too far away, right? And because to engage on them, did you take an angle? Yes, but then this is no longer an angle here. It's directly at them, right? You see that?
Yeah.
You had an angle here, but then they backed up, which is why we kind of like the high ground as an option, because that gives you to maintain the side angle. You get that?
Yeah. That makes sense.
You want to see something sad? Watch this. Bet you didn't even realize this.
No.
And I knew that was the case.
I didn't know why I died.
I knew that was the case. I knew that was the case. So she didn't even know you were there.
Yeah.
That's what happens with Tracer when you don't take angles, because people just
Yeah.
throw crap at your tank or your support, and you run into it. You're too squishy to do this, right? So this all comes from, you did take an angle, but not the best one. And then instead of shooting what was there, do you remember the Junkrat play over here with the Kiriko Genji, and you're like blinking all the way over here?
Yes. Yeah.
Same thing. Just shoot the ball. He's there. He's there. There's a misconception that Tracer's job is to kill squishies. Often the angles that you take mean that you will kill squishies more than tanks, yes. But if your angle allows you to shoot tank, be happy and shoot tank. Like right now, right? Pretty obvious. But then what if Mercy was over here with Junkrat? Well, maybe you just shoot tank, right? Shoot him in the back.
Yeah. Yeah, then here I didn't really know what to do.
Yeah, well, you've lost track of your enemies is what's happened. So Mercy's flown away. So then the next closest target here is actually the Kiriko right beneath you, and you just don't know that she's there is the problem. So you do what I like to call headless chicken Tracer, where you have no idea where you're going or what you're shooting, so you just run around the map and find crap.
Yeah.
You want a system. You want to take this angle, shoot what's on that angle. If there's nobody on this angle, then you want to keep deepening the angle. You want to wrap. So you start here, nobody's there. Okay, then I wrap around behind, find somebody here. Okay, nobody's there. Okay, then I keep wrapping around to find somebody. Okay, nobody's here. Then I keep wrapping around. You notice that you're like drawing a line around the fight, right? And you're finding and finding. So if there's nobody here, you push here. If there's nobody here, then you push here. But now you're playing just like, oh, what's over here? You're playing popcorn. And it just feels like every action you take is just totally random. There's no system. This is good. You should stay here. You've got blinks. Stay here. Until he looks at you, stay here. Even if he does look at you, you're good. There you go. Do you see the difference? Do you see the difference here? It kind of fell in your lap, right? So I'm praising you for executing well, but it is accidental. But that's all right, because you know what? You're on short range. You have your blinks. You distract the Junkrat. And by the way, look at how Junkrat dies. Watch this. Shot in the back. Frick, what is that Tracer doing? Doesn't see that. And that's what kills him. That's the value of the angle, right? In addition to that, why is the Mercy Kiriko not supporting the Junkrat?
Because they're looking at me.
They're looking at you. So then Junkrat dies. Kiriko is still looking at you. And you're in a perfect position to duel her because you have 2 blinks and a recall. So she Suzu's herself. And actually, because she's looking at you, she actually should have died to your Ryan. Right?
Right.
She is unbelievably lucky. And you're deadlifting this fight and you don't even really know it. In fact, you didn't even need to run away here.
Yeah, I thought I was low. I didn't know I had a Zen orb on me.
That's all right. That's all right. But you had your recall. Is the main reason why you should have run away.
Okay. Yeah.
Use your recall. Maintain pressure in the fight for as long as you can. But I'm telling you, mate, this is really good. Now, you don't have an off angle anymore. So you need to either find an off angle. Those mines are scaring me.
I know. I didn't know where they were.
Do they one-shot you now? No, they don't. Is it like 160? No. They buffed them recently.
I think it is.
That's the only reason I'm asking.
I think it's... I'm not sure.
Yeah, so the only critique here is you've really done well this fight. You took an angle, you shot what was available, you had full resources, you harassed us, you distracted, you played metal mechanically. We love to see it. The problem here is that now, like, it's really, like, you see, like, you're just kind of in the middle. Look at the ball. Look at the Junkrat. Look at the Genji. Do you see the problem here? Even though you're down, or they're down a few, if we draw a line around the Junkrat all the way around to the Wrecking Ball and then around the Wrecking Ball, just drawing a circle, you're in the middle of that circle.
Yeah.
That's not a good spot for a Tracer to be. So what you need to do here is you need to get out of the circle. What should you do? Where should you go? I think there's a couple of options here. What do you think?
I feel like I could... I don't know, like double blink to the other side of like across the cavern thing. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm thinking like either commit to the Junkrat 1v1 over here, maybe blink to here and harass. Maybe if you're going to take the Wrecking Ball, like blink over here and shoot the Wrecking Ball so that you're outside the circle, right?
Okay.
I don't want you to overthink this one too much. I think you played well this fight. It's good enough. Let's not. But it is worth noting that this is kind of what happens, right? Where because the enemy team still has an off angle on you, they're able to pressure you, distract, and then finish the kill. Actually, the Genji does exactly what you did earlier in the fight. He does the same thing.
Genji killed 2, yeah.
He does the same thing. He capitalizes off of the distraction and gets the kill. So I wouldn't overthink that. It's just a good reminder of why staying on the outside and not chasing targets is important. This is good. This is really good. Again, that's a situation where you're running. You should recall. Don't run when you can recall, unless there's a health pack like right next to you. Because you recall, you go back and you shoot again. She hits you, headshots you again. You blink out, you grab the mega, you go back and do it again. But make her headshot you again. Make her do it. Because now you're as good as dead. You see this? What on earth are you supposed to do from here?
I can't really do anything from here.
Right. Ha! Rat. You deserved it. Good pulse, though. Good pulse. Lucky. I would have preferred you to have stayed in that angle with recall and then to go for the pulse from there, but you know what? It's a good pulse. We take what we get. That's a good job. Nice.
I don't know what he was doing there.
I don't know what he was doing either. That's all right. We take it. Everyone makes mistakes, especially Junkrat players. Picking Junkrat, I think, is the mistake. I'm not gonna lie though, I do like a little bit of Junkrat occasionally. It is kind of fun.
Nah, he's fun, but he's
all right.
Yeah, rat.
When you get the time, look at you. I'm about to ask the question and you answered it. Never mind. I'm out of a job.
Cool. Yeah.
When you do things like this, you demand a response. Okay? You demand a response. Remember the Junkrat died earlier because he turned his back on your Reinhardt and died to Fire Strike, right?
Yeah.
He had to look at you because you're freaking killing him, right? You are going to kill the enemy team from this position. You're going to be a major nuisance. So don't be surprised when he does this. Be ready for this. Anticipate this. And then you know what you do? You win the duel. Not quickly. No one clipping here. Crazy pulse storms. Just harass, move, harass, move, harass, move. Force him to look at you. Force him to get Mercy 1v1, or pocket, excuse me, Kiriko pocket. And then if it's a 2v1, just kind of live. And then when the supports get distracted, go in again. And then if he gives up, well then guess what? You just shoot the Junkrat and the Reinhardt in the back.
Yeah.
Remember, when you take a lethal angle, they are forced to respond. So I think there's a little bit of a surprise here. And then even worse, you give up. No.
Yeah, I just walk. I just forget about the Genji.
You just give up, right?
No.
Like you forced his dash, you forced his deflect. He's less than half HP, and you still have triple blink and full HP. Take the 1v1 here. Maybe don't like go all in, and if you have to run away, sure. But see, the problem is here is it's like you're like what I like to say is like the 3-year-olds playing hide and go seek, right? They close their eyes and they're like, you can't see me, right? Genji's here, mate. He's still here. You have not avoided the Genji. And instead, you had an advantage. You ran away from it. And now, like, if he pursues you, you're dead. You're dead. So I appreciate you taking the angle here. But remember the rule. It's the same thing with the Wrecking Ball earlier. If the Wrecking Ball or anybody contests you on the flank, you have to take the duel. You don't have to win the duel. You just have to keep them busy. That's your job. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because the worst case scenario is exactly what happens here. We have a great angle, a great opportunity for a kill, and you just walk away from it. You just walk away. This is a good angle, now that they pushed up. Live, harass. You see what you've done here? Look what you've done. Like, you've trolled the lobby again, but this right here is good. This right here is good. Look, you're down one. You start shooting Junkrat. Oh, it's a close range off angle. Junkrat's like, frick, what is this guy doing? Now look at Kiriko. Look, they're not even pushing forward. The Junkrat backs off. Kiriko's looking for you. Maybe a little risky to do this here. But, okay, even this is still fine. You know, this is the best part. 90% of the time as Tracer, you don't have to run back to your team. Where should you run right now?
Left. I don't know.
Blink.
Yeah.
Blink. You're safe. And you still have the angle. If they chase you further, you keep running. You keep running. And then now, you're right back where you were. What's
Okay.
funny is
Yeah.
I think you actually saved your team from getting staggered here, is what you did, as long as you don't die. You saved your team from getting staggered because you cut off the team's ability to chase because you still held the angle. And then you actually almost killed the Junkrat. But what you just did right there not only loses you the angle, but frankly, you should have died for that because you're blinking into the
Yeah.
open.
Definitely. Yeah.
Right?
If I was any higher than gold, I'm dead.
Well, you will die in gold. You won't
Yeah.
die in gold
That
all the
too.
time
Yeah.
doing that, but that's why you're in gold. Is 50% of the time it doesn't work, right?
Yeah.
Even bronze
Yeah.
players punish mistakes occasionally. So now this entire fight is really just a train wreck because nothing feels good. Everything feels like
Yeah.
I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, you should have chased the Genji. I mean, I get it. It's fine. It's the closest thing that was there. But the problem all snowballed from just being on a bad angle. Everything felt bad.
Yeah.
You're going to hit this bull swim. I can smell it. Yep, see? Hit markers. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Yeah. I did damage.
You did damage. It mattered.
I was just scared of the tire.
Yeah. I got you. Good. Getting on the angle here. Recall. Good. And this is like that is the worst, right? You take an angle and you're like, man, everybody just like instantly looks at me. But go look what happened. Junkrat low. Genji turns. Mercy actually doesn't even heal the Junkrat. Kiriko doesn't heal the Junkrat, but then the Junkrat again dies because he turns his back and looks at you. It keeps happening. It keeps happening. Oh. Good stuff. Is that a double shatter?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what happened there. I don't know how that like.
I think I've only seen that like a handful of times ever.
I've never
it's
seen
usually,
that before.
It's like ping or something. It's like there's like a very specific time window, and I think like latency has to be involved. But yeah, I might be wrong in that, but I have seen it before. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, obviously this entire fight started really badly, but you did find time to take an off angle, and as a result, you guys are winning this fight. So, and this is why you're gold and not bronze. You know, and that's not exactly the encouragement that you'd like to hear. It's like the most passive-aggressive compliment I can possibly give. But you know what? Good tracking there as well. But you know what? Hey, we'll take what we can win, or take what we can get, rather. Death.
And then I get
Oh,
I recall into the brat.
You guys should still cap though. You guys should still cap, right?
Yeah, we
You guys
do.
can-
We do. It takes forever, but yeah, we do.
Okay. We'll keep going here. Okay. Any questions so far?
No, I don't think so. I think it's all making sense.
I want you to systemize our approach so far. If you were to break it down to two steps to play Tracer, what do you do? 2 steps to success. You're selling your Tracer course. What do you title it?
I don't know. Take an off angle and then I look for what's there.
That's it. What type of off angle? How would you describe the characteristics of an off angle? Deep off angle, short off angle, long range, medium range, high grounds?
Short, yeah, like a short off angle, right?
Yeah.
I want to be
think that's
close.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, short off. I mean, some characters are a little scary up close, like more of a medium range versus a Genji or a Rat. But yeah, exactly. Shorter range off angles in general. Exactly. Okay. And then exactly, shoot what's there. Now, in terms of your mechanics, what specific mechanical things do you suck at?
The blinks are not great.
Right. It specifically blinks when you're dueling. Right.
Yeah.
You don't really you don't blink when you're dueling. And then when it comes to general things for you specifically, you get too panicky when Genji comes after you.
Yeah.
You don't like when people contest you in off angles. You just run away and you give up. You run back to your team.
I'm just trying to live, and I should. Yeah.
Right. You just run back to your team instead of living on the angle. And then also on maps where you don't know how to off angle, you give up. You don't look at the situation and try to feed trying to make a mistake, right? You don't do that. You just do nothing. Okay. Any questions so far?
No.
What things are you doing well?
I feel like my recalls have been fine. They haven't
Yeah.
been terrible. There's been times where I should have recalled or shouldn't have recalled, but
Okay. What else?
I don't know.
Think about it. You got to be self-aware.
Yeah.
So you got to know your strengths, you got to know your weaknesses. What are your strengths?
I feel like my aim isn't horrific.
I
Not
agree.
terrible,
I
but
agree. I
yeah.
agree. I think your aim is tolerable, certainly.
Okay.
What about
Yeah.
your positioning? Generally, corners, cover, angles, when you're taking angles.
Uh yeah, I don't feel like I'm like my positioning is bad.
Okay.
I feel like I'm most of the time near cover, I
Yeah,
think.
I think near
Yeah.
cover, your cover usage has been okay. I think sometimes you do try to take angles, but they're just not always consistent at it, right?
Hmm.
Okay. Pulse bombs.
I need to work on them.
Okay.
They're not great.
Compared to what though? Like, how do you
Um,
know they're not great?
I just miss a lot of them. Like in this game, I don't remember. I think I only stuck one pulse bomb. I think.
Okay. How many pulse bombs
Yeah.
do high rank tracers stick?
I feel like a lot. I feel like they stick most of them.
So I'm probably totally wrong with the statistic. I can't remember the exact number, but it was in this ballpark. Okay. Shax, who you might be familiar with, had, I think, the highest stick rate of all tracers in Overwatch League one season, maybe 2 seasons, or was close to the top, right? And do you know what
Okay.
his pulse stick rate was?
I have no idea.
I think it was 60 to 70%.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So if you look at this and you're like 25%, that is a lot less than 60, 70%. But are you
Hmm.
aiming for 60, 70%? Or are you aiming for 100%? Right? You might be aiming for
Right.
100%, but let's remember that that's not going to. Now, obviously, as you get higher rank, people's movement gets better and so on, so it gets a little bit
Yep.
harder. But I will say that I would not say your pulse sums are necessarily bad. It's okay to practice them, just don't set unreasonable or unrealistic goals.
Question. Outside of just practicing them in
Vaxta,
game, are there Vaxta? Okay.
the one thing that I think practicing in Vaxta is good with, because you get them back
Okay.
just over and over and over again. But I wouldn't say that
Hmm.
that's going to necessarily translate perfectly. What I would do is I go into Vaxta and I do maybe 50, 30, 40 every couple of, like maybe once a week or something like that. And then instead just, when you're doing it in Vaxta, you're practicing like the blink pulse or something like that, like the combo
Yeah.
or whatever, right? You're practicing a specific tech. But to get better at pulse sums, you just need to play Tracer. There's no shortcuts.
Okay. Yeah.
No shortcuts. Okay. Any questions?
No.
Okay, we continue. And we see if our initial impressions of your tracer were correct, and they're already correct. Because if I see this, what should your first response be? Holy crap. It's not to shoot. What should it be first?
I should I blink through him or like into the
You
hall?
got it. You
Yeah.
got it. Because he's got the drop on you. He knows you're there. And so who has the advantage right here? I mean, he definitely does, right? Like definitely. Not just because it's not
Yeah,
only
the
because
Genji,
like
yeah.
he could almost one shot you, but also because you're reacting to him, not the other way around.
Hmm.
So when somebody catches you with your pants down, that's okay. That happens all the time, even to the best tracers, but
Yeah.
your first response needs to be to blink. Make them move their crosshair. Good discipline with your
I
recall
lost
there.
him.
Yeah, but that's fine, because he dropped.
Yeah.
You know what? This has been your best Genji 1v1 yet. Why? Let's look at it in slow motion. He's looking at you. He's looking at you. He's looking at you.
And I blink.
I mean,
And then
that
he
would have
looks
killed
at
you
me
right
again.
there. I'm so confident that would have killed you right there if you had not blinked, or almost killed you. Wait, right here? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's at least 1 or 2 shurikens that you just dodged there. Okay? Good?
Okay.
You see it again?
Hmm.
It's good. Maybe you could have blinked through him there. but I still like it.
Yeah.
He whiffs the dash because you blinked. You recall. And now he's dead.
Yep.
Nice job. It's not pretty, but 1v1ing a dive character is never pretty. It's not pretty for him. It's not pretty for Sombra. It's not pretty for Reaper. It's just not pretty. It's a ugly, nasty war of attrition, right? And you did pretty good. Nice job. Go back and take the angle now. You won. Congratulations.
Okay.
And I bet he's thinking, man, I just hate 1v1ing tracers so much. Oh, this is a perfect example of what we were talking about. Who should you be shooting right now?
I guess the Orisa, that's the only thing on my screen.
It's a fortified Orisa, but be ready for anybody to walk forward, because fortified Orisa is like the least attractive thing, but you know what? That's the crazy thing.
It is.
It's actually worth doing. It's actually worth doing. But why? Because she's there. Now, you could rotate your angle here and go for backline, but you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
after the armor changes, I don't like shooting Orisa.
Yeah, I can agree with that. But see, the problem with this is that you're so thirsty for backline that you end up basically compromising your off angle by walking into main. Remember, this is how the Kiriko accidentally killed you on the attack. Remember that? Just shoot the Orisa. Shoot the Orisa and stay here, because they're going to have to walk forward at some point, right? And if they walk forward, you're just right here waiting for them. That being said, I really appreciate that you stay on the angle. Okay. Still staying on the angle.
The Genji, I heard the Genji coming. So
and I understand that. I don't know that I would run, though. As long as I have 3 blinks in the mini, I think I try to cautiously take that 1v1. Because I don't like this position. Because you've given up the angle entirely. Okay, now we're taking the 1v1. And you see what you've done? You see what you've done? Watch this from the Genji's perspective. Just play like some soft, like smooth jazz elevator music.
He's not like, stressing about anything.
All right, well look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. All right, well look at that. Well, look at this. I love this game. This game is so easy. Like, that's your fault, right? Now, you shouldn't necessarily feel the need to go out of your way to mark the Genji, but if he's on your angle, that's your responsibility. Because you could tell, because if you'd been over here, you would have already been killing their backline. But because you purposely let him take the angle for free, and then you're like, all right, I'm trading backlines. No. It took you way too long to get here. You shoot, take the angle. If somebody contests you, you shoot them. If nobody contests you, you kill your backline, or their backline. That's it.
Yeah.
Now, at least you're here, but the problem is by the time that you got here, it's a little late. All right, I want to see good blink there. He looks at you. Good blink here. Yeah, you didn't blink fast enough. You see that?
Yeah,
You didn't see it.
Yeah.
You didn't see it. Even a Kiriko is lethal, right? Even a Kiriko is lethal. I'm sure you said even. You're like, bro, Kiriko is the most lethal. What are you talking about?
I don't... Can she still headshot melee?
No.
No? Okay, nice.
Even with a melee buff, she can.
Oh, right, okay.
On the angle. Obviously a little awkward because it's a little long, but this area of the map is awkward. There aren't really any other options, so I think you're okay. I think you're okay. Don't. You see Genji and you're just like, I give up. I give up. It's all right.
And then I tried to blink. I was like, nah, I don't want to.
Because here's what it is. You're trying to shirk your responsibility and just like, I'm just going to run in and pulse spam. This is how you accidentally die. This is how you get your recall forced. This is how the Genji kills you, because you recall back to where he is without your recall and with no blinks. You're trying to cheat. You're trying to say, like, I don't like this thing. I'm just gonna blink in and go kill backline. But the problem is that you're not on an angle anymore. And you let the Genji come for free. And you could get shot from behind here. And
my soldier died to the Genji.
And by the way, every time you've done this, you've died. I think every time that you've done this, you've died. Every time.
I think so.
The pulse bomb is definitely... It's not that your pulse bombs are bad. It's your actions before the pulse bombs are bad.
Yeah.
You're making it hard on yourself.
I think part of it is like when I have pulse bomb in my brain, I'm like, okay, I just gotta blink in, just get in there and get out. But
yes,
I think I gotta.
Let me describe the mentality here. Pulse bomb does not change how you play almost at all.
Right.
All pulse bomb does is make how you play more effective. where if you force that Genji to use deflect because you're 1v1ing him, and he's going to have to use deflect, now you have a tool to punish that. Or if you win the 1v1 versus the Genji, the reward is even higher because now not only do you have a backline angle, but you have a backline angle with a pulse bomb, right?
Right.
Don't necessarily change how you play. Do what you normally do, but just do it with a pulse bomb. It's very similar to Genji Blade. I think a lot of people freak out with Genji Blade and like, oh, I gotta play toilet. No, you don't. You just play Genji and Blade. That's it. I like this. You're okay. Yeah, you see, you panic, right?
Yeah.
You panic. Grab the mini or whatever, and you got blinks, you got a recall. Let's go. Take the 1v1. They're like, heal me, team, heal me, team. Let's shoot a fortified Orisa right in the front of the face. Oh, this is good. Oh, my days. Like, you could not be less useful. I'm just going to be honest with you. Your positioning is bad. Your angle is bad. Well, that really is your positioning, right?
Yeah.
It's just awful. It's just the worst. Now you're good. Now we're good. We finally got it on an angle. We had to blink through the middle of the enemy team to do it. But at least we got there. But then again, like I think we just don't react to people looking directly at us. And remember, like you got to be patient here too, because this guy has double pocket. All right, he's not likely to die. That's okay. You don't need to kill him. You're forcing a Valking Mercy and a Kiriko that would just have Kitsune to focus you down. So if you live here, this Orisa will die because Junkrat's going to demand pocket, and your Rhine will live because look who kills your Rhine, right? The guy that should still be looking at you.
Yeah.
And all of this starts because you saw somebody on the flank that just happened to be a Genji, and you're like, I can't win this 1v1. I give up. That's what makes Tracer broken. Tracer can win any 1v1 in the game. Not quickly, but she can. Which means that you generally get to position however you'd like. Okay, is all this making sense so far?
Yeah, for sure.
Let's watch one more fight, and we'll make a nice, tidy little package here. Obviously, awkward part of the map for Tracer. Very congested, not a lot of angles. This is probably one of your better angles here. I wouldn't be here. I would, frankly, maybe here. I don't really know. It's awkward, right? It's awkward.
Yeah.
Maybe here. You could blink in to cover here and look to harass from here. It's awkward.
Okay.
I don't mind what you're doing. Good tracking. Here comes the pulse bomb. Shoot.
I actually don't remember what I do with the pulse bomb here.
Oh, you're gonna kill 6, I think. Good angle here, really good angle. Kill 6 right there. Hit markers, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I appreciate you trying here. I think a little bit of this is awkward mechanics, and most of this is just awkward angle, and that's okay. I think maybe here, if you have the time, you can set up here and set up here as Tracer. That's okay. And then from here, you can actually blink out this way. It's just an awkward, very awkward, not just the third point's awkward for Tracer, but specifically this corner is the worst for Tracer. If your team holds close, it's not bad. If your team holds back, it's not bad. This corner is the worst. So it's not entirely your fault. Okay, let us take some notes. 2 steps to Tracer, what were they?
Find a short to medium off angle and then shoot who's there.
Angle and shoot. And shoot, duel, who is there. Micro, for you specifically.
The blinks, I gotta, whenever I get like caught off guard, or I gotta blink. And if someone's looking at, when someone's looking at me, I need to blink.
Okay. General Tracer stuff. Don't be scared of Genji.
Yep.
Take the duel cautiously. Hold the angle. Stop running from people who contest your flanks. Just play to harass and live. What else? Anything else? Pulse bomb, I think. Pulse bomb does not change how you play much. It just makes you play normally, but better. Okay? Anything else?
Yeah. I don't think so. That seems like what we talked about. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any questions?
No, I don't.